Hi guys, I am here to break down and give you some options to help build your pistol squats and build the strength. So there's a lot of options, a lot of variations and ways that you can begin to build strength. But it's not always just about strength. It can also be about hip mobility because of the position, the hinging of the hip, and how tight you kind of have to get in this position. So if you know that coming into this position is super challenging, you'd probably want to work on mobility in the hips as well as building strength. So we'll do hip mobility later, but strength and different options to kind of break down the pistol squat. So pretty easy and basic one you can start with is your single leg squat. So I'm gonna stand on one foot. My opposite toes are gonna come down, but I'm not gonna put a lot of weight. So I don't really want even pressure and even weight on both feet because that's not what's going to happen in a pistol squat. I'm going to essentially be on one leg. So it's a lot of building strength in one leg and driving down, got a lot of hamstrings that you got to activate, and glute medius. So the glute medius is going to help with the stability. So you want to notice even just standing and doing these little bend and straight, if your knee comes off that track. So you need to build strength and stability through the outsides of the hips to make sure that the knee is going to track straight forward. So I'll ball the foot down and I can take, or just toe, a single leg squat. So this gives me a little kickstand, so to speak, and I don't really have to worry that much about the balance, but I can add more weight to one side, one leg, and work on the squatting, the sitting back of the hips, and standing tall. So that's going to be one variation. You can also work this from the upper to middle range. So I'm going to again stand. I have a chair behind me. Heel can be on the ground, and I'm going to sit back and push down to stand up. So you can start by building the strength here, and you don't want to just plop down. You want to build slow, and then you can work on hovering the other leg. So essentially I'm working from the upper range to the mid range and back up. So I'm building strength in that halfway point for the pistol squat. I can again work the upper range and get some more height, so I can maybe work a little bit lower into the pistol squat by stepping up onto a chair, a box, a bench. So I have one leg is gonna reach down and maybe it taps the floor. I need to push the hips back and the upper body will come slightly forward. You can reach the arms forward as well. So that's gonna help counterbalance the lower body, but you don't wanna step. So it's not a step up where you're using both legs to push down. I just want all of the weight to be on my standing supporting leg. Additionally, I can work this with a block. So once I kind of have that with the leg reaching straight down, and then I'm starting to get into my pistol range, you can even grab hold of a wall. So if you need to work on balance, maybe have something that you can hold on to. And now I can start to build with the leg there, but not as much height. So that's maybe too much height because that's not realistic to where the ground is. So the challenging part for some is going to be fitting this leg with the hinge of the hips. So having that little bit of height on the block will give you more space for the leg. So now we've worked it from all those different angles, and then I can work one or two more from the low range. So that really worked on the upper to mid range, and now I want to build strength from this lower range. So I've got a core drill. We're going to go from a hollow body, low boat position, and then into your pistol squat prep. You can stay on the same leg, or you can do all on one side. So ideally you're gonna work it where you don't need to use your hands, but in the beginning you may need to use your hands to help you, drawing this heel in really close to the glute. Yeah, so that'll start to build strength in the lower range. And then your last one, before going just straight into pistols down and up, is to use momentum. So I'm gonna rock back to the shoulders, push down through the hands, and stand up. Now I can do this by taking more of a stag leg position, driving both heels down, and figuring out how to stand up. Again, this is gonna be a lot of hamstrings, glute medius, a little bit of glute max, and then sitting back. So you can use the momentum, and then you can also hover the leg. So I can do this with the hands helping to push the floor and to help guide back down, or I can do this without the hands and really build the strength to start standing up. So those are gonna be some options, some drills that you can play with. You'd wanna do this at least once a week. If you're really serious about building the strength in your pistols, the single legs, you're gonna do a lot of single leg deadlifts. So you really want to prep the hamstrings, the hips, glutes. Make sure you mobilize, activate before you just get into these exercises, but work through them, work each range of the movement, build strength in those ranges, and that'll help the overall pistol variation. So have fun, give it a go.